In Oahu, with Hawaii's only true real estate radio show, the Team Lally Real Estate Show.
(99596) or check us out online at teamlally.com.
Hey everybody, this is Attilio and I want to bring you the art part of the show. What does that stand for, Adrienne?
Attilio's Random Thoughts.
All right, and it's anything but random because I think about it for the next 7 days for the next show. That's all I'm thinking about.
Is what you're going to share
what
on
am
the
I going to
radio.
share with the listeners for the next 7 days? That's all I'm concerned about is all our listeners. Anyway, so I want to talk to you about stop watching the news. I'll say that again. I know Hawaii News now, they're probably going to pull their sponsorship. Oh, wait, they don't sponsor us. But stop watching the news, and here's why. When you watch the news, you have not that it's all negative, but you do have, a lot of times it's about the negative stories. If it bleeds, it leads, is the old saying at the news desks throughout the time that we've had that. And so what happens is it's one of those things that you got to really be careful about, that it doesn't start you don't start becoming a cynic. Cynicism starts developing in your life. And then it's one of those things where when you do have that thinking, studies have shown that it actually affects your ability to discern whether or not somebody is being truthful or not, because your overall lens is that everybody is not trusted. How did they prove that?
I don't know. How did they prove that?
They had one subject group that was, self-proclaimed cynics, and then another group that was self-proclaimed more optimistic, pessimistic people, positive outlooking people. And they had them pretend that they were interviewing candidates for a job, and their objective was to find out who's lying. Mm-hmm. So half of the candidates were told specifically by the researcher to lie, and half of the candidates were told to tell the truth when being interviewed for the position. What's interesting is that majority of the people that had a cynical, jaded outlook on life had a hard time discerning the people that were not telling the truth from the ones that were telling the truth because of their perspective, whereas the people that were optimistic were more likely to recognize what was the truth versus someone that was lying. So what they're saying is that we look at people that are cynic and say, oh, they're so intelligent because they have this level of discernment to not get snookered. Mm-hmm. And the science proves otherwise. So more science backing up the point, you need to have a positive outlook on life.
Speaking of someone who has a positive outlook on life, we have Duke Kim Han with his property management tip of the week.
Hey, Duke.
Wow. Positive outlook. Okay.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of something positive.
Yeah.
So one thing that we're having a lot of pushback on is termites.
Yeah.
Termites are a pest in Hawaii. And like no other place that I've ever seen, I mean, some in Florida, but not like in Hawaii. I don't know why that is. Because of the plants that we have here?
I don't know. Everything is, the termites, they went all over the world and they're like, you know what? Hawaii.
The tastiest home.
The wood is delicious.
Delicious.
You know, I was wondering, I go hiking. Right. Why don't they eat the stuff in the forest?
I know, there's so much of it.
I know, but they got to eat the 2x4s at your house.
They're so tasty.
Right. They start there.
Yeah.
So a lot of times we tell the tenants that if they see droppings, most tenants are from the mainland.
Yeah.
So they say we don't know what this
What's
is.
that look like?
We cleaned it up. We cleaned it up yesterday, and it's back today.
Yeah.
So little dust particles on the floor.
Yeah, it looks almost like sand, like a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Sand, black sand.
Yeah.
Correct. So once we go in and determine that there's termites in the property, it really is a kink in the lease.
Yeah.
For a tenant, if they don't have protection against something like this, where their renter's insurance covers loss of rental.
Yeah.
Where they would be reimbursed to go get a hotel room.
Yes.
which in Hawaii, if you don't make a reservation and you just say, hey, for tomorrow, I'd like a hotel room, it's going to be top dollar.
Yeah.
It's going to be mid threes to high to low fours.
Yeah, you figure. So, and on the sales side, we deal with fumigations all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I will tell you, it's they need 1 day to fumigate. Then they need the next day to double check the air quality. And so it could be 2 to 3 nights.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you got to double bag up all those perishables or remove them.
Oh my goodness.
So it's
a whole production.
Only people who have been through it can actually tell you what a pain that is.
Yeah.
To bag up some of your stuff. And then if you have valuables like leather jackets and stuff, you have to bag those too.
Yeah.
And then the animals. If you have pets, that's a whole nother.
Animals can't stay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Nope.
You got to board them. So it's a whole process for a home that's at rental.
Yeah.
And I only say this because I only do the rental side.
Yeah.
You guys do the sales side, which, you're still going to have to fumigate if there's any droppings found in the house.
And I think this is why you guys require that your tenants have this insurance, because you never know when these termites are going to show up.
Yep. And then if their items get damaged in this process, then they can claim it against their renter's insurance for personal property.
Yes.
And I know that this renter's insurance is really not that expensive.
And on the owner side, the loss
of rent.
Yeah.
Yep. So, that's only like 3 days. You're not going to be able to collect rent. But for the tenant, they're going to have to bag up their stuff. They're going to have to organize their personal property. They're going to have to find a place to stay. If they have animals, they got to house
board them.
The animals.
Yeah.
Board them. Yep. And then they have to go pick them up. And if they're working, oh my goodness.
Holy cow.
It's a lot. So that's something that we try to avoid and try to see if we can see termite droppings between tenants. So it's just going to be so much easier on the owner and the tenants.
I think with the active termites too, I mean, within 24 hours you can see them. So even if they just clean, you just double check it and keep an eye on it.
I mean, if you can plan it in between the tenants. So.
Yep. Sometimes you can.
Yeah.
But those guys, if it's a full colony, they can eat up to 2 pounds of wood a week.
Yeah.
Oh, so you may not have time to wait in between tenants.
That's a lot of wood.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a busload of sumo wrestlers who showed up at the all-you-can-eat buffet. Yep.
I think it's more than 2 pounds, but in both directions.
Yeah, I think statistically, termites cause more damage to residential homes in Hawaii than like storms and fires combined.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's true.
Yep.
And so, my takeaway from all this is if you see termites, just go ahead and bite the bullet.
Yeah.
Pay the fee, get your house fumigated, and let the property manager take care of the tenants.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the other thing.
If you don't, your investment property is not going to be making much money down the road if it's all termite eaten.
Yeah,
the other thing
structural damage.
Especially if the tenants move in with really nice like co-op furniture, and then that termites get it into their furniture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gets even worse.
Coal is probably pretty tasty.
It is. They're like dessert.
Anyway, that's my
dessert is here.
Thank you, Duke.
Control.
All right.
Yep. Okay.
All right. So that's Duke Kim Han of Hawaii Pacific Property Management.
Yeah.
He's an expert we trust. You can find out all about him and his team on the resource tab. We've got all of our experts we trust over there.
And I'm not only the president of the Hair Club for Men, but I'm also a member. No, what I'm saying is that with the rentals, we talk about Duke and his team for the rentals. I have 2 rentals that they have been managing something like 8 or 10 years. One in Wahiawa, one near the university. I don't even know who's in them. Mm-hmm. All I know is I look at my owner portal every month and
take care of it.
The money shows up. We were in Italy for like 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
We was in Italy for 10 days. And then I got on text from my property manager. He's like, our refrigerator didn't blow up. And I was like, okay, approved to replace. And then I got another text. Okay, all done. That was it.
Easy.
Well,
Well, speaking of easy, someone that's the easy button, we have Jody Tonga, the mortgage genius, with her mortgage tip of the week.
Hey, Jody.
Hello.
Hello.
Today was the big day everyone was waiting for.
Yeah, with the mortgage rates,
with the cuts. What's going on?
Yeah, what's the latest?
As we actually have discussed, I believe, not sure if it was last week, but we recently have discussed this on the radio show. The expectation was 50 basis points.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what they did today. So
that's
they did. They did drop the overnight Fed funds rate by 50 basis points to 4.75. And the impact to the mortgage rates is that they slightly went up.
What the
how does that happen? Explain to our listeners.
I know.
Yeah, I just got into a car accident and got a discount in my car insurance. No, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Explain.
So I just, so part of what the overall market does, based on information received in real time, is that they make adjustments. So because the expectation based on the latest inflation and jobs unemployment data that came out over the past 2 and 3 weeks, it came out with certain data, and that is why the market started to feel like, oh, based on inflation dropping, continuing to drop and get better.
Yeah.
And, based on unemployment went up, so there's less jobs. They said, we feel like the Federal Reserve President, is probably going to decrease the rates by around 50 basis points.
Yeah. So
the whole thing was it's going to be between 25 to 60. Somewhere between 25 to 60. But the majority expectation was it'll be 50. And so once the market decided that based on the recent data, we think it's going to be a 50-point basis cut, mortgage rates already changed.
But they went up?
Back, 14 days ago, 14 days ago, they already got better based on this event that hadn't occurred yet.
Yeah.
So that was 2 weeks ago, 14 days ago, right? Now the day finally has come, and not only does the Federal Reserve share their decision, but they end up also talking and saying things like what the future holds.
Yeah.
And based on what they said, they did say that they are going to be slow to continue the rate cuts, while they do still think there are going to be more before the end of the year.
Yeah.
That they're not in a rush to do bigger rate cuts. So because that happened, mortgage rates went up just a teeny bit, not a lot. But if you were to compare, if I was to show you my bare bones best I could do yesterday versus today, yesterday was just a little bit better.
Yesterday was more better. All right, so
but it's still good. It's still better than it was a year ago.
What you're saying is
still better than a year ago.
By the way, 50 basis points, correct me if I'm wrong. You take the decimal to the right of the zero and move them over 2 times to the left. 0.5. So I'm going to explain it to you. I was going to say, explain it to you like you're a 5th grader, but these 5th graders are pretty smart. So I might have to go like preschooler. So if I'm understanding it and explaining it as if I was in preschool, they was anticipating this drop, so they already went drop the rate. And then when the rate went drop,
Then they brought the rate up.
They brought the rate up.
Just a little bit.
Just tiny bit.
It came up just a little bit, but that's because of what they said. That's because of the commentary.
The other context of what's going on with the economy.
Yes.
Exactly.
The big picture.
Jobs, inflation.
Everything else. Okay.
Yeah. And most importantly, like what they say. So the Fed, when they meet, they end up doing, they end up having like interviews and stuff. And they also have to meet with Congress. And they just do a whole bunch of stuff. But after this big meeting, the Fed president always like goes and talks and says a whole bunch of stuff. And the market listens to his cryptic wording and tries to then now it's a whole other anticipation until the next meeting. So the next meeting.
When is the next meeting?
The next meeting is going to be.
Well, I mean, how often do they meet? Or is it based on what's going on with the economy?
They typically meet about 6 times a year.
Oh, wow.
Every 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
Is it?
So depending on what's anticipated, the rates could go down a little bit or up a little bit, just on what's being anticipated for that next meeting.
Right.
Is what you're saying.
And Adrienne, and just to second what you said, it's way better than it was a year ago.
Yes. Things are better.
It's way better than it was 5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's time for those buyers that are sitting on the fence. Get off that fence and come get into the markets.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks, Jody. Thank you, Jody. Excellent news. And explanations. Yes. So that's Jody Tonga with Pacific Rim Mortgage, the mortgage genius.
Yeah.
So I'm ready to share a review from Joshua Domingo. He says that Shane from Team Lally has been really helpful so far in guiding me through the process for my first home. I definitely appreciate his input and look forward to working with him more. Good job, Shane.
Good job, Shane. Did you know why a pre-approval is very crucial for your home buying journey?
I did know.
What is? Oh, you know what? And let's help people out. Let's help people out.
Yeah.
There's a pre-approval and pre-qualification. What's the difference, Adrienne?
Well, it's verification paperwork is the difference. So the pre-qual, pre-qual is a conversation based on just, your recollection.
Yeah.
And then the pre-approval is actually where they are confirming and looking at paperwork, credit scores, W-2s. They're looking at all the paperwork to confirm what the conversation was.
Okay. The pre-qual is like what you put on your dating app profile. The pre-approval is when they actually show up for dinner and you start interacting with them and you see the real deal.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's a good analogy.
So hopefully the pre-qual matches up with the pre-approval. So you'll be like, oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's why when we get offers, we do not like to see a pre-qual because it's just, a conversation. It's not been verified. And we let our clients know that.
Yeah.
So we want to see pre-approvals with these offers because we know for sure that buyer has been vetted.
Well, and here's
surprises.
Here's 2 things you got to keep in mind. Number 1, when you go through a pre-approval and you're actually submitting tax returns.
Yes.
They're looking at your W-2s. They're taking a look at your income, your reserves, your credit scores.
Everything.
This helps you, the buyer, understand what your numbers are, what your budget is, and making sure that you're looking at homes in the correct price point. Number 2, when it's time to write an offer,
sellers like that. And
sellers are like,
yes.
I tell you,
it's like music to their ears.
They're like, they see the offer, comes in with a pre-qual, and they're like, huh? What? And then they see another offer come in with a pre-approval. And you know what they say? Nice.
Yes, they're very happy with the pre-approvals.
They're happy.
Yes.
So it's very important to make sure that if you're thinking about starting your home buying journey, give your lender a call. Stop looking on Zillow. Stop going to open houses. You know what? I'm going to tell you to do that, and you're still going to do it. Get pre-approved.
Yes. Have a strategy. That is the first step of that strategy.
Yes.
So we've got a deal of the week for Y&I.
Yeah.
All right, so this is an expansive 6-bedroom, 6-bath home. It comes with an incredible, assumable 2.25% mortgage.
How much is this?
Yes, 2.25%.
Okay.
It has it's a 1-acre lot.
And it's bright and airy living. Sliding doors in every bedroom, connecting you seamlessly to the outdoors.
There's even a versatile studio with a private entrance.
Energy efficient savings with 17 owned PDs. They can't take them away. They own them.
You can hear the ocean and have these soothing ocean sounds to lull you to sleep.
Constant refreshing breezes, quiet. I don't know if we should say.
It's a dead-end road with friendly neighbors.
Yes. 1 block from the stunning beaches, majestic. Oh, by the way, you have views of the majestic White Mountain. You know what I saw from the backyard? Pink Bunker.
Yes.
Pink Bunker is one of our favorite hikes.
This is more than a home. It's a lifestyle of tranquility, beauty, and endless possibilities with the added benefit of a rare low mortgage rate.
So it's so easy. If you want more information, all you got to do is go to teamlally.com. That's LALLY, or give us a call at
799-9596.
That's it.
Yes. All right.
Thank you so much.
Deal of the week.
By the way, we had a team meeting that we have once a quarter. We had one recently in the office, and it was the number one statistic that we want to share with you today is that as a team we went on how many hikes?
5
hikes. So speaking of hiking, if you want to get to the top of the mountain, it's always easier to get there when somebody who's been there already
can show you the way. Yes.
And they can help, actually, even before you get to the base of the mountain, they can help you prepare.
Yeah, so these team hikes, so that kind of leads into, we have a career night coming up on October 7th. Yeah, career nights. Yes.
Oh, rude, you interrupted. I was just going to, no, go ahead.
Yeah, so it'll be from 6 until 7.
Yes.
You can go to hawaiicareernight.com and get signed up there. Now, if you can't wait, you can always go to jointeamlally.com and see what kind of positions that we have available and apply.
Now, the good news is for our team itself, we're only looking for superstars. Only superstars need to apply. So if in your head you have this dialogue in your head, I'm a superstar, then you should go to jointeamlally.com, because here's the deal. You want to be applying to teams that just don't, you have a license and you can fog a mirror. You hired. No.
Well, we did get the Spirit Award recently at the Realtor Olympics.
At the Realtor Olympics.
We did have the most fun, I think, out of any of the teams.
I'll just describe it for you, because radio is television for the
blind. We also have a really cool little video that we put together too on Instagram.
But imagine just aloha shirts with funny faces on them. A lot of sweaty people down at the Blaisdell Park doing obstacle courses.
We had a huge Connect 4. Giant.
Giant. Giant Jenga. And we was doing relay races.
And we had the fur babies too.
Yeah, we had puppies running around and stuff like that. But, just down there doing the Realtor Olympics once a year.
We had some fun music. We brought our own music.
Well, that's a fanfare for the Olympics. Wasn't that kind of Olympics, but it felt like it.
Yes, but we'll be preparing for next year already. Training starts.
So we're looking for some superstars to come join our team so you can help us out with the Realtor Olympics next year. By the way, I want to give a big shout out and a thank you to the YPN, which stands for
Young Professionals Network.
Yeah, all the people and the board members and all the members of the YPN, they're the ones that put this thing together. The sponsors, the businesses that come out to sponsor this event, they provide lunch. We provide the achy muscles and sore backs and big smiles. That's what we provide.
It's a lot of fun.
It was fun.
All right. Well, we are going to take a break.
No way.
Yes, but stay with us.
Yeah,
when we come back, we'll be talking with Dr. Kim Cook and Tamah-Lani Noh from the U.S. Vets.
Yep.
They're going to share unique needs of veterans and how you can get involved in the long-term vision for U.S. Vets.
So stay with us.
Decades 107.9 playing the greatest music ever made. It's Mornings with Augie. Hey, you know someone that moved to the mainland but left the rental property behind? So Amber wanted to create a new investment opportunities on the mainland, but she had to sell her island rental first. So she reached out to our good friends Adrienne, Lally, and Attilio Leonardi of Team Lally Real Estate Group of Keller Williams, Honolulu. Handling the business virtually with Amber, Adrienne and Attilio came prepared with multiple 5-star selling strategies. including adjusting Amber's selling price expectations and the home sold in days. If you're in a market to sell your home and you want a team that will make you the most money with the least amount of drama, you can trust our good friends, Adrienne and Attilio of Team Lally. Give them a call today, 808-799-9596. That's 808-799-9596. They're trusted. You see their signs all over in my community. Visit teamlally.com today. That's teamlally.com today.
In today's fast-changing real estate market, you need access to the right information to make smart choices. I invest in real estate all over the country, and I rely on smart agents who know their local market inside and out. In Honolulu, I work with Adrienne, Lally, and Attilio Leonardi. Adrienne, Attilio, and their team sell a home every 72 hours and have over 750 five-star reviews. Go to teamlally.com and find out in just seconds what your home is really worth.
Hey, Sean Hannity here, talking with the only real estate agent in your market I recommend. Adrienne Lally and Attilio Leonardi of Team Lally Real Estate Group of Keller Williams, Honolulu. Now more than ever, buyers and sellers need an expert to navigate this ever-changing market. And what do you do to stand out?
Hey, Sean, we are a team with over 500 plus 4.9 star reviews, over 1,600 transactions under belt, and 20 years in the business. It's going to take a lot of resources to get a home sold today.
What kind of programs do you offer?
Sean, we offer the guaranteed sale, instant offer close in 12 days, $10K for upgrades, love it or leave it, no hassle listing. No matter what situation the client is in, we've got solutions.
Great update. Thank you for keeping us informed. Put the most experience and the best marketing to work for you. Call Team Lally now at 799-9596 or online at teamlally.com. That's teamlally.com.
Welcome back, and thanks for listening to the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the Guaranteed Sold program, or we'll buy it. I'm Adrienne.
And I'm Attilio.
And if you have any questions, just give us a call at 799-9596 or check us out on the web at teamlally.com.
Our first guest is the Vice President of Clinical Services at U.S. Vets. Born and raised on Oahu, she has dedicated her career to supporting veterans, overseeing programs that provide housing and care for nearly 850 veterans each night. She is a passionate advocate for holistic wellness and community services.
And that is Dr. Kim Cook. Also joining us is a retired veteran with 30 years of service in the Hawaii Air National Guard and U.S. Air Force. She is currently the program director and is known for her leadership in drug prevention and in community engagement. Please welcome our other guest, Tamah-Lani Noh.
Hello. Hello, can you both hear us?
Yes, we can hear you so much.
Welcome to the show.
All right. Yeah. So we always like having the U.S. vets on the show because it's obviously, we're out in Kapolei and
you guys are our neighbors.
Right there in our own community. And yeah, we've come out to visit the site and everything and like that. It's very, very nice. But Adrienne's got a question for you.
Okay. So I guess we can kind of go back and forth.
Yeah,
for both of you. So Dr. Kim Cook, what inspired you to get into this field?
Oh, yeah, that's such a great question. So first off, I just want to thank you guys for having us. You guys have been great partners for so long with us, so thank you. So what inspired me to get into the field is, I've always known from when I was really little that I wanted to be a healer of some kind, and I had an opportunity as my junior year in high school. I unfortunately had a really close friend that attempted suicide, and it was sort of the beginning of my search to understand how people get to a place where they feel like there is no other option. And so that started my career in psychology. I, got all of my education that I needed and found myself at US Vets almost 15 years ago. Have a deep passion for serving our veteran community. My father was a veteran. Mm-hmm. And so personally connected to this work, and it was just such a great marriage to be able to not only serve the veteran population, but also do it because it is my passion to help other people. So.
Oh, nice. And then Tamah-Lani, what was your inspiration to get into the field, and how long have you been with the U.S. Vets?
Wow. Again, I get excited when I get an opportunity to share what has brought me to where I'm at. And I'll tell you, it's just so exciting because I don't have that dream of being and working with veterans and the homeless from when I was young, unlike Dr. Cook. For me, it was like I raised a drug-using child. So drug prevention, drug education has been always part of my life. That's been my calling. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, when I started to work with veterans, I had that opportunity to see veterans living out on the street, living on the steps of Diamond Head. Yeah. And when I housed my first veteran, I was hooked. I know that we can help them. I know what they need. And it's just been a blessing for us to be working with US Vets because it hits a population of people that's near and dear to my heart.
Yeah. So what are the unique needs? What unique needs do veterans have that the US Vets provides support for?
I think the thing that we really are proud of in our work, and we've been in Hawaii since 2003, is that we really provide a comprehensive support model. So at any point on the homeless continuum, whether it's prevention support all the way to permanent housing, we really try our best to provide supportive services at every point. So it's not just housing that we provide. We also surround every veteran that comes into our program supportive service that they need. And it's really driven by their needs, not what we think they need, but what they want. So some of that might look like workforce development services, mental health support, substance abuse treatment. I mean, it's a wide gamut of services that we provide. And we're really proud of that because, when I started at US Vets 15 years ago, we didn't have a lot of support and services that we provide. But now with our expansion of services, we are able to provide a really comprehensive support model. And so we are able to provide, anything from mental health support, which, some of our veterans need. But living in Hawaii, as you folks know, we have a very high cost of living. Affordable housing is a crisis here. And so we know at US Vets that although some people have the misconception that homelessness is tied to drug use or mental health, it really is just poverty and the lack of affordable housing. And so what we want to do is meet that gap and provide that housing support so that they're able to rehabilitate in the other areas that they need.
Yeah, Attilio and I had come out to your guys' site and then took a tour of like a next door area that US Vets, I don't know if you guys are still managing, but the tiny homes that, that was a really, big project.
Is that still part of you guys' organization? And if so, give us an update.
Sure, yes. So since we met you, that's exactly the one update we wanted to highlight is, yes, we are still managing that tiny homes project. It's a project in partnership with the governor's office as well as, the statewide strategy to provide affordable options for individuals experiencing homelessness. So we have 36 residents that can live on that property. And, that particular property for us is not veteran specific, although there are units that are prioritized for veterans. But we really did feel like when taking on the project, we wanted to take on the project because we wanted it to be our way of being able to give back to the larger community. So we're very, very proud to say that we are always at least 90% full, and I think we only have maybe 1 or 2 units available. And it really provides folks the opportunity to live in a communal environment, a safe communal environment where they get the support that they need, accessible right there on property. So we have built... Go ahead.
So with that being said, that you're 90% full, if one of our listeners is in need of housing, how do they qualify or get on that list? What does that look like to get into a tiny home?
Yeah, so they can reach out to we have an outreach team. So our outreach team is responsible for all of our programs. So if there's a listener out there that is in need of housing or any supportive services, they can contact our outreach team. That number is 808-630-0771. It's our main line. And that outreach provider will basically triage and, determine what the veteran needs. And then I let the veteran know what eligible housing services there are. So that would be the best way for anyone that's in the community. And again, that particular project is not veteran specific. So it can also be open to non-veterans as well.
I think that's important for the community to know because some people, they can't give to everything and they have a selection process of what they want to support. So supporting the US Vets supports our entire community with the tiny homes that you have available. I wanted to ask you, and I'm just curious, most of the people that call in to get services? Is it directly the homeless or that person, or is it somebody on their behalf trying to help them out? What do you guys find?
Yeah, we find that it usually is the direct person that reaches out to us directly through our line. Yeah, but we also have openings, right? So we have different supports in the community that allow us to have other referral sources. But yeah, the veteran will usually call on his or her behalf and either inquire about the services we provide or they're in need, so they know that we are here to provide that, which is great. So we're glad the number is getting out there.
Yeah, and that number again is 630-0771. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct.
630-0771.
And then also, like, for the non-veterans that maybe would qualify for this tiny home program, is that the same number, or is there a different website or different way to connect?
Yeah, so we do have, like, on all of our social media channels, you will be able to find, the tiny homes community highlighted in there, and it does have information. However, we always like to give the community just one number because, it can cause some confusion. But that would be the best number. And that person, our outreach coordinator, Davina, will triage that for that individual and find the most appropriate program for them. We really have a model of finding a yes. So when someone calls us, we really want to try to figure out how we can provide them the support that they need in any program.
How can people in the community get involved with the mission? Or, you know what? And before we even, go ahead, let our listeners know, what is the mission of U.S. Vets?
The mission simply is to eradicate veteranness, not just in the state of Hawaii, but across the nation. So U.S. Vets has a presence nationwide. So we believe that no veteran should sleep on the same streets that he or she was asked to defend. And so we're here to eradicate that issue.
Nice. That's a great mission. And so how can people in the community get involved to help support?
Yeah, there's so many different ways. I can give you just maybe a few specific ways that folks can get involved. So we do have an upcoming golf tournament that we are promoting, and that's going to be at Eva Beach Country Club. It's our 11th annual No Vet Left Behind golf tournament. It's a really fun day for us. So we would like everybody to come out. We're still looking for sponsors, golfers, donations to use a golf. We would love to engage with you in that way. We also want to highlight that we have our Meet Camel Your Cause campaign. So U.S. Vets has a campaign specifically starting on October 1st. And we are still looking for partners. It is a campaign that has allowed us to raise nearly $1 million nationally here. So it's a very successful campaign, but we are not able to do it without our Camel for a Cause partners. So we're still looking for, and you can find all that information on our website as well. Okay. And, just what every person can do, I think, is, I always share with folks, is what we call a U.S. Vets fundraising, raising a cause. If anybody's interested to ever come out for a site tour, get interested in wanting to join a community service project. We have community service projects, like multiple project months that people can come and volunteer. We want to engage with our community. So if anybody's ever interested in just learning a little bit more about us, we can definitely give you a contact for that as well. Just share and raise awareness on the issue.
Now, I've got a question for both of you guys, because I know that you interact with maybe different veterans throughout your day or your time there with U.S. Vets. And I'd like to just, for you to share an example of us each, a success story of someone who, has come through the program and you've been able to, just help create a new pathway for them.
Yes. Share a success story.
So I always have one favorite. There's many success stories that we've been witness to, but my favorite success story that I always share, he is a local boy, a local veteran here, grew up, here in Hawaii, so it's always such a close connection for us. He served in Iraq and was a medic. As part of duty, had very difficult and challenging circumstances that he had to deal with upon coming home. It was really difficult for him to reintegrate back into his family, divorced, abusing substances, then eventually found himself in prison and was searching through the phone book and saw U.S. Vets, reached out to us, he came to the program, and since that very day has made a complete revolution, and so much so that he left our program, and he talks about to this day, we're still in touch, and he always shares how, he just took everything that we gave him, he did. And because of that, he left us. He decided that he wanted to go back to school. He got his bachelor's degree. He ended up getting his master's degree. And now he actually serves as a clinical director in a community outpatient clinic on an outer island.
Wow.
And we have just loved him so much that he now serves on our national board of directors. And so, it really goes to show, I think success story is one of my favorites, because it really goes to show that, if veterans are willing to ask for help, and they come, I think that's the hardest part, is just asking for help. Once they come into the door, though, we have all the resources accessible to them, and it's possible for veterans like him and for so many more. So we're very honored to do this work
and,
for veterans like him.
Give people an idea of where most of your, on an annual basis, where do you think most of you guys' funding comes from?
Our particular funding here in Hawaii, and actually nationwide, it's pretty synonymous. So here in Hawaii, 80% of our funding comes from federal sources.
Okay.
So the Department of Veterans Affairs is our biggest partner and funder. But we have so many others, of course, city and county, state of Hawaii. They're all very great partners. So for us, our goal really at US Vets is to diversify our funding. We really want to, connect more with some of our philanthropic partners and any donors in the community that want to help to support those efforts for us. Because we have so many ideas on how to expand services, especially in the prevention area, which is a big movement in the homeless arena. So we want to take note of that and get on top of expanding that part of our service as well. So, but we're mostly federally funded.
And then tell us again, what's the date for the golf tournament? Speaking of funding.
Yeah, the golf tournament, sure. So it is October 28th, and the shot is at 11 a.m. Eva Beach Country Club again. Yeah. So we want everybody to come out to that.
And here's the shout out to the business owners out there, you golfers. Adrienne and I, we don't golf, but Craig and Frown was, I know we're sponsoring a tea.
Yeah, we usually are tea sponsors.
Tea sponsors.
We do.
So to you other business owners out there, here's a way that you can increase your own profit while increasing your donations and support for a nonprofit. When consumers, it's called for benefit marketing. This came from the president of Tom's Shoes, where you buy a shoe, and then when you buy a shoe from Tom's Shoes, they'll give a shoe to someone in need who doesn't have shoes. And so what they found is that when a business, actively is supporting nonprofits in their community, when the consumer comes across that business comparatively to other businesses, and they can't tell the difference between either one, 98% of the time they'll go with the business that is giving back to the community. So it's a good reason for people to come and support.
And then are you guys giving away prizes also at this tournament? Are you looking for prize sponsors?
Absolutely. We're still looking for sponsors, golfers, donations for prizes. Yes, all of that. We're still looking for folks. So there's room for everyone to get involved.
Awesome. Okay, yeah. And so if they just go to the US Vets website, all the info there is usvets.org, and they can connect with you guys that way.
And if there's a vet in need, 630-0771, 630-0771, or if you know of a vet that needs this help, get that number to them, or call and make an appointment. Bring them with you. Come visit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Before we wrap it up, though, was there any kind of final thoughts that you guys wanted to share with us, or anything that we haven't talked about that you want to share as we wrap up this part of the show?
Just two final things. One is one of our big dreams here at US Vets in the next couple of years is, we're expanding so much here in Hawaii. Of course, it's an honor to do the work with all the partners we have, but we are looking for a new site. So we're looking for, possible relocation. All of our programs are scattered. So our dream is to put all of our services on one campus. Yes. And so as partners in the community, you folks, we definitely want to pick your brains and your expertise on how we might be able to make that dream a reality. So wanted to definitely share that. And for anybody that has a social media, we want you to follow us. We are pretty active on our social media channels, and that's the best way to get involved in real time. So, follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, and then, of course, our website for more information. We want all of you to come along on our journey because it's really important for us to connect in that way with all of you. So.
For this new location or site, if you can give us some specifics of what would be that, like the size or location. We're just going to put it out there because maybe, that person is listening
right now
and they want to sell.
Yeah, so we, I think when in the introduction, we serve about 850 households annually per year. And so, we want a campus that's going to be able to accommodate that. We also have a vision on this campus besides the 850, possible units that we might have is also our administrative quarters. So we right now in Hawaii, we have close to 100 employees that service here in Hawaii. So we want to have administrative space. And I think we also are looking for recreational space. So anything that, again, the therapeutic model is something that US abides by and we embrace here. So we definitely want space for things that are therapeutic, whether that be a therapeutic garden or, the dream is this. So in the process of actually, we're working with folks to get specifics on like the specs for what a building might look like. So if anybody is out there listening and has resource, we definitely want to connect with you because we want to keep this conversation going with our community in any way that we can.
Okay. Well, every November we do a pie party at our place.
Yes.
And anybody who walks in the door gets a pie in the face. No, that's not what we do. Only I get
a pie in the face.
No, you get a free pumpkin pie. It's the size of a wagon wheel. You know the ones from Costco. But what we are going to do as part of our promotion is encourage people to drop off any kind of donations for U.S. vets as well as cash.
Oh, thank you.
Cash. And at our next pie pickup free pie giveaway, if you guys don't come out, we'll come bring one to you guys. And we hope that people will want to participate and support Team Lally in supporting U.S. vets. And in fact, Adrienne was a vet. So
I'm still a veteran.
You're still a veteran.
Oh, thank you for your service.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yep.
Yes. All right. And thank you guys so much for being on the show. Again, that number is 6300771. And the website is usvets.org.
Yeah. And then there's the Cause for Camo starting October 1st. And then the golf tournament, October 28th.
All right. Awesome.
Thank you guys. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
All right. Take care.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, that's US Vets. Go check their website out, usvets.org, and get involved.
Yeah, I think that one of the key things for, I've remember I was working out at I think it was like Orange Theory, and then one of my cohorts there at the gym was a psychiatrist for the state of Hawaii, and his main objective was working with the homeless, and he just. I said, how is that going? And he says, it's super challenging because it's more than just providing a safe space and housing for them and meals. Just like the U.S. Vet says, you got to have all the other counseling services, therapeutic environments. And it is something that can help people kind of break that cycle or not fall through the cracks, as we say, like that great success story where, a local vet came home.
Just couldn't.
The whole family fell apart. It was having a hard time assimilating back into civilian life. Went to prison, called them, got rehabilitated, got a bachelor's degree.
Master's degree.
Yep, got a master's degree, and then now he's on the board with the U.S. Vets, so it's all good. And so why don't we support something that helps
to rehabilitate people?
The least of our citizens, not the least in any negative connotation, but maybe the ones who have the least. We should be supporting them and supporting these safety nets that especially where U.S. Vets, which is their mission, is to eliminate 100% of all homelessness with vets.
Yes, and even like with the tiny home management, the non-veterans too. Just if you are having a hard time making ends meet, I know that is done based on like they take a small percentage of whatever your income is. It's not like, oh, this is the set rent. It's based on what your income is. They take a small amount, and it's a safe place, and they've got a nice big community kitchen, and
they have community kitchens.
It's a safe campus.
They have bathrooms with showers. The little tiny homes got little tiny
little AC units in there.
Split AC. I think it's splits or window units. They have tiny chairs, tiny beds. You got to wear tiny shoes. There's tiny homes that I'm thinking like more and more people want to be like, why we got to have all this stuff? Why not be in a tiny? You know what? How about you go live? Everybody go live in a tiny home, and then we can have more resources to provide and share with the people in our community that don't have anything. Yeah. All right. So we got a couple of minutes left, and I wanted to talk about the piano man. Who's the piano man?
That's Billy Joel.
Billy Joel.
This is a not so tiny home.
Yeah, this one is the opposite of that. But it's a curious, interesting society. But by the way, I got to see Billy Joel in concert. He was in concert with I think, what was her name from Fleetwood Mac? Stevie Nicks. And this was at the stadium in Phoenix, Arizona, and he is still at 70, 80 years old. He's funny. He comes out and he goes, "Hey everybody, I'm Billy Joel's dad." And he comes out and introduces him, but he is a heck of an entertainer, even at 70, 80 years old. He can still crank out all the songs.
All right, so tell us about this house before the show ends, because we got a couple minutes left.
Well, it finally sold.
Oh, all right.
6 years of price drops and relisting. Bought in 2015 for $22.1 million. He sold it for
49.9 million.
Not bad of a pre.
It was listed at 64 and sold it for 49.
1.61 acres, built in 2010, 1,300 square under roof. This thing is right on the beach, outdoor paradise, across the street, guest house, private dock. Private dock.
Nice.
Joel isn't leaving. Billy Joel is not leaving Florida. He's already moved into Boca Raton's exclusive sanctuary neighborhood. Ooh, sounds bougie.
Yes.
But hopefully he took a piano with him over there. Didn't leave all of them behind.
That's right.
I just like to say, it's 9 o'clock on a Saturday. The regular crowd shuffles in. Come on, you know this. It's like the most requested karaoke song. You got to know the words, though. I always say the best way to do karaoke is when you memorize the words and turn your back to the screen and face the crowd. Even though it's only your aunties and uncles and cousins. It's more fun that way. All right.
Well, thank you for listening, and thank you to our sponsors.
Jody and Derek of Pacific Rim Mortgage.
Bradley of Allstate Insurance.
Kenji of Pillar Post Home Inspection.
John with Kilauea Pest Control.
Luke with Hawaii Pacific Property Management.
Robinson, Fine Line Paintworks.
And Amphi with Estate Planning Group.
Jason Wu with Attorney at Law.
Rhino with Hawaii Unified.
Janice of Dreamhouse Drafting.
Fabio with Hawaii Water Damage Restoration.
Jake of Go Local Power.
If you want to get a hold of any of our sponsors, all you got to do is go to teamlally.com.
We also want to give a big thank you to Leah Rodriguez, our producer here in the studio. Woo-hoo. Make sure to tune in next week. We'll have an awesome guest talking about something that'll change your life.
Forever, this is the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the guaranteed
sold program. If we can't sell your home at the agreed upon price in a time frame, we'll have it bought for cash. Thanks and aloha!